Hey everybody, Dylan here. I think I'll just run through the fish room, kind of do some updates on these tanks. Even though they haven't changed very much, I can kind of pop the camera down, we'll take a look at them. They've had their maintenance. The shrimp tank kind of looks the same, although I have pulled several of these plants out of here and tried to thin it out. But it is what it is. We'll take a look at them real quick. They are feeding right now, so you'll see a ton of them down here. I mean, I like seeing them on the vegetation, on the plants. That's why I kind of let it grow like this. Because I think, you know, seeing them up in it is cooler for me. Well, let's keep going. I did do a water change down in here. This tank was initially just kind of a grow out tank. Plant grow out tank, but I mean, all my tanks are plant grow out tanks for the most part. So, this tank's going to be the first one to be disassembled. I'm pretty sure I told you that in the past, but it still hasn't happened yet. And plants are just growing crazy. These are ponchitons down here, just growing monster leaves. This one too. This one's super. This one was floating for a long time, and I just kind of tucked it down to the soil, and it's doing okay. One thing that's not doing good is this red lotus, which was doing well for a while, then deteriorated. Now it's not doing very well at all. But that tank's kind of just, like I said, was a plant grow out tank. I kind of just let thrive, and I liked the way it looked. It was nice next to Mojo's tank. Where's Mo? I haven't checked him out lately. Oh, he's kind of hiding out today. His finishes is super long nowadays. But without taking up too much time, I'm going to keep rolling. Over to the guppies. The guppy babies are out of here. They're all gone. And I'm not sure if it was the parents who ate them. I'm not too sure about that, although she's been large ever since she birthed, you know. So it's like she's ready to give birth to a second batch. More likely, I think the Brashadi that's in this tank ate them. I mean, that's not a leap, you know, to think that the small little cichlid ate them up like snacks. I had someone mention that in the comments, and you know who you are, and it's so true, because there are no little guppies in here no more. And I thought they'd be okay in the tank, like I told you before. I meant to pull them out of here. It was my own fault. But hopefully the next time she does birth in this tank, I'll have that little Brashadi out of here. And I'd like to be able to show it off because it's looking really good lately. And maybe it did eat up a couple of those little baby guppy fry and help it to nourish, you know, the little Nelamprologus Brashadi, which this tank initially started out only as that fish's quarantine tank. And even the guppies were bought as kind of a therapeutic thing for the Brashadi, so there was something in the tank for him to chase around. So if he ate their fry, so be it. These little fry, gotta do something about them, because I think they're a little too small to go in my large planet tank. Ooh, sorry. But I'd like to get them out of here, because there's, I don't know, about 16, 17 of them just hanging out in this 10-gallon tank, which I haven't done much with except for let those swords grow, let this piece of wisteria grow, let the anacharis grow. We'll show this tank real quick, because I did kind of clean it up a bit, even though I stuck a ton of plants in here just to get them out of the way. Like this anacharis came out of the shrimp tank on both sides, and some of this Rotala came out of my large planted tank. Kind of stuck it in the middle here. But it's not much of escape. I did stick a couple swords back there so they would, you know, the tank would look like something. But I got the Danios in there, the little leopard Danios. And they're doing well enough. Fairly new tank, so this tank isn't even close to finding its cycle or being established. I did a huge water change this afternoon, like 60%. I dropped this tank just to freshen up the water. But we'll see if we can get this tank rolling. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'd like to put these leopard danios in my large tank. We're kind of treating this 20 long here as kind of a quarantine tank before I even, you know, chance those guys in this, you know, well-established, you know, well-maintained tank. Look at this thing. I just trimmed this Rotala too. I took a bunch of stems out here and sent them out. Put a bunch of stems in this tank, and it just grows. The Rotala is nuts. Speaking of Rotala, let's talk about the Brashati tank. Oh, I think I'll save that. I think I'll save that for another occasion. But what I will tell you about the Rotala is that Rotala in this tank grows straight up, you know, and I like that look. The Rotala that I had grown for a while in this tank was laying flat, so it grew runners and rhizomes from the side of it, and created other stems, you know. Most of these stems are only one stem, and what I'm trying to get at is I like the ones that have multiple stems coming off them, and those are the pieces that I had taken out of the stem tank and put into the Brashati tank. But I'll show you guys that on the Brashati update. I really like to take a good look at that tank. But let's come take a good look at Mojo, and I'll say that's the update with the planted tanks. Sometimes I find him just hanging out right in the middle of all this moss. After water changes, when the water's really oxygenated and he doesn't have to, you know, spend a lot of effort taking a breath and worrying about going to the surface, he'll just hang out inside this moss, you know. You'll see all the bubbles kind of clinging to the moss just because the water's so oxygenated. He'll just hang there and, you know, won't worry about breathing. Even now, he just looks so majestic because he's so still and he can just hang. That's going to be the update for these tanks. I think I'll shoot a Brashati extra. That tank is looking really special lately with all the clippings I've taken out of these other tanks, and it's truly become a project tank because it's got a little extra special care and extra love from you know, everything that's in this tank, all the plants, clippings, and everything. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. You have a good one. Hey guys, little quick extra. I'll have to edit this in. Check out my little bushy nose. He's back hanging on the leaf, and he's really just dangling. That is so cool. It's like just on the edge there. Little bushy nose extra. Thanks for checking them out, guys. Check out the little MLT on the glass too. You guys have a good one. Peace.